Today on Public Eye News, the U.S. Substance Enforcement Team announces a major drug bust across several towns, and later President Trump attempts to block the Gordie Howe Bridge in Detroit.
Toby Mattetti will have your weather forecast today, and I will have your sports breakdown as well. I'm Danny Lunard.
And I'm Emma Mraz. You're watching Public Eye News. The Upper Peninsula Substance Enforcement Team, or UPSET, has been investigating two men who are believed to distribute crystal meth, cocaine, and fentanyl in the Houghton and Baraga counties. 3 search warrants were handed out, and during that process, UPSET seized over a quarter pound of crystal meth, an ounce of cocaine, along with small amounts of ecstasy and fentanyl, with the drugs having an estimated street value of over $15,000. The two men, 27-year-old Brendan Hanks and 60-year-old Michael Jesla, have both been arraigned on February 6th. And seatbelt usage in Michigan is at the highest rate since 2019, according to a study from Michigan State University. According to the study, occupants in SUVs had the highest rate of seatbelt usage, with 95.5%. The lowest rate of seatbelt use was recorded in pickup truck usage, with 89.3%. Female occupants had higher rates of usage compared to male usage, with 95.3% compared to 91.7%. The state had a total seatbelt usage percentage of 93.2% compared to 2024's 92.0%. A seatbelt usage study is conducted on a yearly basis.
A Michigan facility has been designated as a drone testing site for the U.S. Armed Forces. The National All-Dominion Warfighting Center will serve as a national range for deep, uncrewed aerial systems training. The NDWC is a 200,000-acre space located at Camp Grayling in Grayling, Michigan. It is the largest joint training range east of the Mississippi. Both Democrat and Republican legislators campaigned for a designation as a national range. Governor Gretchen Whitmer commented on the designation, saying, quote, "Show that Michigan can lead the future of aerospace and continues to play a key role in protecting our nation's defense," end quote. The Trump administration has made an agreement with Dana Nessel as other state attorneys promising not to withhold federal funding for education. The deal protects state and local education agencies that may have been stripped from their funding due to equal access policies last April. The United States Department of Education continues stating and local agencies. They threatened to pull funding from agencies that would not adhere to the administration's new imported Civil Rights Activists of 1964. The recent agreement protects more than $1 billion in congressional mandated federal support that the department provides to Michigan each year.
Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer and other Democrats are standing with survivors of the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein as they introduce legislation to eliminate the statute of limitations for victims. The development comes just one day after Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, refused to answer questions about his crimes during a virtual deposition. Natalie Brand reports from the White House.
Justice should not expire.
Standing alongside survivors who say they were abused by Jeffrey Epstein and Virginia Giuffre's family, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer introduced a bill he called Virginia's Law.
It allows survivors to seek accountability when they're ready, when they're strong enough.
The proposed legislation would eliminate the statute of limitations that prevents some victims of sexual abuse from taking action against those they are accusing.
Change must mean justice, not someday, not in speeches.
The development comes just one day after Epstein's co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell, refused to answer questions about the case during a virtual deposition before House lawmakers.
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Maxwell's attorneys say she would be willing to cooperate if granted clemency by President Trump. Her attorney also says she would testify Trump is innocent of any wrongdoing.
I don't think she is going to be helpful at all to anyone in this unless and until she can get a promise that she'll be let out of jail.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers have also begun viewing the DOJ's unredacted Epstein files, with Congress members Thomas Massie and Ro Khanna alleging powerful individuals are being protected.
What I saw that bothered me were the names of at least 6 men that have been redacted that are likely incriminated by their inclusion in these files.
They should be releasing these documents. We have many avenues where we can compel that legally.
The Miami Herald is reporting the files include an account from a former Palm Beach police chief who said President Trump told him that everyone knew of Epstein's activities, and he called Maxwell Epstein's operative, saying she is, quote, evil. The DOJ says it's not aware of any corroborating evidence that the president contacted law enforcement 20 years ago. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
Now over to Danny with your Public Eye Sports Report.
Welcome back to Public Eye News. I'm Daniel Lunard here with your sports report. Starting off in Milan, Team Corey could not get it done in the gold medal game. Corey Tesser and Corey Dropkin, both from Duluth, Minnesota, falling to the Swedish siblings Isabel and Ramesh Rena. This is the first time a Swedish set of siblings have participated at the Winter Olympics. The Swedish knocked out the U.S. Rock to win 6-5. Team Corey becomes the first U.S. team mixed doubles to place at the Olympics. GLIAC Swim and Dive Conference was this weekend, and Northern brought home some hardware. Starting off on the women's side, they brought home 9 podium finishes. Let's get off to the medals. In the 200 medley, 400 medley, and the 50 free, Northern brought home bronze. In the 200 free, they got silver. Northern had a double podium finish, finishing silver and bronze. In the 800 free relay, they also got silver. In the 400 relay, they got silver. And finally, Katrina Seglinski brought home gold on the 1-meter dive, but that's not all she brought home. She was named the GLIAC Women's Diver of the Year as well. On the men's side, it was just as strong. They brought home 11 medals and 2 GLIAC records. For the men's side, brought home bronze on the 1-meter dive, in the 200 medley relay, in the 200 IM, brought home gold. And we brought home silver in the 50 free. We brought home gold in the 200 free relay as well. The enemies brought home silver in the 100 fly and in the 400 IM. Matteo Bulgarin got gold, and he set a GLIAC record and got bronze in the 100 breast. Matteo Bulgarin set a GLIAC record in the 200 fly as well. But he brought home 2 more trophies as he was named GLIAC Male Swimmer and Freshman of the Year. That's a lot of hardware Northern brought home this weekend. That's all I have for sports. Don't touch your dials. We'll be right back after this short break.
There's a chap being killed at the walls and poisoned.
Victor!
Mrs. Book's one of the suspects.
Think of any reason why anyone would want to kill Captain Victor Orr?
There's some foreign royalty involved.
Well, it's possible they were the intended victims.
This was the 3rd attempt on our lives since we left New York. Should we trust you?
Well, I suppose you'll find out when the next assassin comes.
Thanks for the sports update, Danny. Now on to statewide news. 2 people have been convicted of forgery and other crimes that interfered with 5 Republican candidates in the 2022 Michigan gubernatorial race. The petitions included bogus signatures, which gave a few candidates not enough to qualify. A few of those candidates include former Detroit Police Chief James Craig and millionaire businessman Perry Johnson, who is running for GOP again. There was no candidate that was accused of fraudulent signatures. Candidates need 15,000 signatures to get on the Republican primary ballot. And President Trump has threatened to block the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge, which would be a connecting bridge between Detroit and Canada. Trump is demanding that Canada give up at least half of the ownership of the bridge, along with other demands that were not specified. The Gordie Howe Bridge, named after the Detroit Red Wings player, was set to open in early 2026. In a statement from Senator Alyssa Slotkin, she said, quote, "The Gordie Howe Bridge is an incredibly important infrastructure project for Michigan. Canada is our friend, not our enemy, and I will do everything in my power to get this critical project back on track," end quote. The Canadian embassy did not reply to Trump's demands. Smartphone apps to boycott American-made products are seeing a surge overseas. The trend is tied to tensions over President Trump's push to take over Greenland. CBS's Tina Kraus reports.
Grocery shopping is turning political in Denmark, with some residents looking to steer clear of American brands.
We do boycott, but we don't know all the American goods.
To help shoppers spot U.S. products, Ian Rosenfeld launched the Matometer app.
You can now take a photo of several products and it will analyze.
It uses artificial intelligence to flag U.S. goods and suggest European-made alternatives.
So you can see which ones it has identified, which ones are safe, and which ones to avoid.
The app's popularity surged amid protests last month over President Trump's renewed push to take over Greenland, which is part of Denmark. Another app called Non-USA also climbed to the top of the Danish App Store rankings. Users say apps are a small but symbolic way to exercise some power.
I think they have to be taught the hard way that we don't buy it.
But with less than 3% of U.S. products on Danish supermarket shelves, some experts think targeting technology would be more effective.
If we think about how many people own an iPhone or use Netflix or use Amazon, Microsoft products.
Other Danes say boycotting America isn't the answer.
You know, because of Trump, which is, of course, a very, very unusual president, I don't think we should protest that way.
Still, many shoppers plan to keep using the new tech tools to help demonstrate their values, one purchase at a time. Tina Kraus, CBS News.
Now it's time for your Public Eye News Weather Report.
Hi, I'm Teddy Maury here with your Public Eye weather. And looking at the NMU roof cam, as you can see, it is snowing on campus here at NMU, as it has been for the last few days, and is also rather gloomy across the entire Upper Peninsula, with it being 29 up in Houghton and cloudy, 26 and cloudy in Ironwood, 32 in Iron Mountain and also cloudy. Cloudy as well in Menominee at 37. And going over to the other side, we have it at 35 degrees and cloudy in Escanaba, 35 degrees and cloudy in Manistee, and 28 degrees and a little bit more foggy in Sault Ste. Marie, and 28 degrees and snowy in Marquette, the only place there it's snowing currently. And as you can see, it is also coming from, the wind is coming from the northwest at 15 miles per hour, with a barometric pressure of 29.78 and rising. And tonight is going to be a low of 20 degrees. Winds are still going to be at coming from the northwest at 15 miles per hour, and the moon phase is going to be a waning crescent. Looking at tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be a little bit more sunny with a high of 24 degrees and a low of 13, with the winds still coming from the northwest at 15 miles per hour. And it is going to get a little bit more warm throughout the next few days, with a high of 30 degrees on Thursday with a low of 20 and cloudy, and a bit more sunny on Friday and Saturday with a high of 39 and a low of 24 on Friday, and a high of 38 and a low of 27 on Saturday. We'll be right back after the break.
In this episode, talk show host Sarah Haynes and actor and playwright Tracy Letts uncover their roots.
Oh my gosh. Did you ever think you had an ancestor who had been imprisoned?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would have bet on prison.
You never heard about this?
No.
That's amazing.
Please turn the page.
Oh my God. I'm related to a president.
It's for real.
Wow.
And that's all the time we have at Public Eye News today. I'm Emma Maratz.
I'm Daniel Leonard.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
The preceding program was produced by WNMU-TV, Northern Michigan University Public Television, in studios located in Elizabeth and Edgar Hardin Hall.